Hello, Space Fairies! Over the past couple of years, I've been trying to properly invest in just building my graphic novel and comic collection because I love comic books, but I've never really kind of owned comic books. So you might have seen me tweeting about Nimona or Anya's Ghost, or most recently there was For the Love of God Marie, which is actually done by an artist who graduated from the same uni as me in the same year. So I may have actually met her. We'll never know. And I'm doing this to kind of, just acknowledge my passion for comic books, and also as a kind of effort to just support great artists and writers, and also have a collection of work and styles and stories that inspire me and things that I can learn from. Mostly backgrounds. I can't do backgrounds, and I have so many comic books now that just have beautiful backgrounds. I'm just like, maybe one day I will know how to do this too. But before this comic book collection, comics have genuinely been something that I've always been interested in. So you had like these daily peanut strips at the back of newspapers and political cartoons in my dad's copy of Private Eye, which is a satirical political magazine, I guess, here in the UK. And like, I didn't understand those because I was very little at the time, but I just enjoyed the fact that grown-ups read comics too. So I was like, oh, my dad reads comics. That means it's okay for me to read comics and then to keep doing that when I get older. And then around the time I was 17, because I think it was just before uni, I discovered webcomics. Hey! And then when I got to uni, I spent most of my free time, like back in my room, just clicking through backlogs of daily comics from artists and comedians who I'd found kind of just by chance. It was way back when, or maybe not, but I remember Cyanide and Happiness used to be called Stick Suicide, so I read a lot of that, and by the time I started reading it, it was already old, so I had to read years and years worth of comics to catch up, and then I was reading it daily. And then there was Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal, XKCD, another one that I didn't understand but loved anyway, The Oatmeal, Toothpaste for Dinner I started reading in year 9, Harker Vagrant, God, just all the classics. In fact, I can safely say some of my friendships in uni were formed, or at least strengthened, on the basis that we each understood the other's really obscure webcomic references. But it actually wasn't until a few years ago, here in merry old London, that I found Junior Scientist Power Hour, and it's very quickly become my favourite of the lot. The webcomic is by Abby Howard, who's amazing, and it's just everything I look for in humour. It's kind of weird and sometimes dark, and the expressions that she draws are just priceless, and I often use that as an influence in my own expressions now. And the use of language is just really creative but relatable, because it's like this really down-to-earth, it's just how people speak. And she has a cat called Spoons, who features regularly in her kind of semi-autobiographic comics, and Spoons, she looks so much like Kiki. And Abby loves dinosaurs, and she has this tattoo of empty comic panels on her arm, so she can just draw in new comics whenever she likes. And she really does love dinosaurs, that's like the big one, and paleontology, and she's plus size like me, and she frequently makes these long comic posts about her just disputing bigots, and they're really intelligent. She's just really good people, guys. And around the time I started reading and obviously loving Junior Scientist Power Hour, she began a Kickstarter for her graphic novel, The Last Halloween, which is super dark and gory, but it's very funny and charming, and it's a story about monsters but also humanity and at some point Halloween. And as it stands, it's been I think 2 or 3 years now, but as it stands the story is still ongoing, but the first installment has been published into a book. Abby's obviously a hella busy lady because she always has these awesome projects on and is always commissioned by amazing things. So updates for Last Halloween, they're not frequent, but that just makes them more exciting. And so when they happen, oh, it's just a good time. But yeah, definitely check Last Halloween out and Junior Scientist Power Hour. Check them both out. I will obviously link everything. But I'm so into Last Halloween that I even cosplayed as one of the characters for Halloween. This was like 3 Halloweens ago. And this is literally just me standing now in a vlog. She also writes and illustrates her own horror shorts on a website called Terrortown, and they're legitimately very, very chilling. And she's also published a book about the Mesozoic era. I told you, she fucking loves dinosaurs. And one day I will meet her. Like, that is the dream. It's one of the dreams. It's one of several dreams to meet Abby Howard. I will either go to a Comic-Con in America to meet her, or I'm still hoping that one day she'll come to MCM. I have to believe. Anyway, I'm going to calm down now. I'm going to let her work speak for itself. Do check everything out in the description. In the meantime, just keep enjoying this piece of art, and I'm actually going to leave and you can watch it and chill with some lounge music. Here you go.